Hello, welcome to Biography TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. Biography of Lansana Conte. Lansana Conte was the second president of Guinea. He rose from a humble background and attained the highest office of the land. The means may not have been exactly praiseworthy, but he got what he wanted all the same. Conte was born in Dubréka into a family of the Susu ethnic group. Not exactly sure of the year of his birth, he estimated it to be 1934. He received his first education at a local Quranic school and then went on to attend Dubréka Primary School. From there, he proceeded to the military preparatory schools in Bingerville, Côte d'Ivoire, and St. Louis, Senegal. In 1955, he got enlisted in the French army, and 2 years later, he was sent to Algeria during the War of Independence in 1957. After his service in the French army, Conte returned home to Guinea, which got its independence from France on the 2nd of October 1958. He was assimilated into the new Army of Guinea as a sergeant. After a course at the Camp Alpha Officer School in Conakry in 1962, he began to experience a rapid rise up the ranks. By 1975, he was the Assistant Chief of Army Staff. President Ahmed Sékou Touré, who had been Guinea's head of state since independence, died on the 26th of March 1984. Then Prime Minister Louis Lansana Bivogui stepped in as interim president until elections were held within the next 45 days. Just hours to when the ruling Democratic Party of Guinea, PDG, was to pick a new leader who would have been the unopposed presidential candidate, Conte, in a twist of fate, led a military coup that toppled the government. This was on the 3rd of April 1984. Conte condemned the previous regime's human rights abuses and ordered the release of 250 political prisoners. Over 200,000 Guineans in exile returned home upon Conte's ascension. A 25-member military committee of national restoration, CMRN, was instituted with Conte as leader, and on the 5th of April, he was proclaimed President of the Republic. In the new regime, political parties were suspended as well as the constitution. Naturally, some elements were not pleased with Conte's power grabbing, so a coup was attempted against him on the 4th of July 1985 while he was away in Lomé, Togo, for an ECOWAS summit. However, the coup was aborted by soldiers who were loyal to him. It was the perfect opportunity Conte needed, as he used it as a pretext to eliminate rival soldiers from the Malinke ethnic group. A former Prime Minister, Diarra Traoré, was also eliminated. Thankfully, Conte was not all about grabbing power for the sake of it. He was quite concerned with the economic state of the country. This led him to initiate a number of economic reforms which encouraged foreign investments. He also reduced government spending and carried out a currency devaluation which was met with approval by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. He also initiated the transition of Guinea from military to civilian rule. Multi-party politics began in the early 1990s, and the new constitution was approved in a referendum which took place on the 23rd of December 1990. The CMRN, which was the ruling body comprised solely military officers, was disbanded on the 16th of January 1991 and replaced with the Transitional Committee for National Recovery, CTRN. The CTRN, unlike the CMRN, was composed of both military officers and civilians. When Guinea had its first multi-party presidential election in 1993, Conte, who was the candidate of the newly formed Party of Unity and Progress (PUP), won by 51.7%, barely escaping a runoff. The saying that a tiger cannot change its stripes held true with Conte as a civilian head of state. Though he declared his commitment to democracy, his regime remained authoritarian like it was in his military regime. Another coup was attempted against his government on the 2nd of February 1996, but he narrowly escaped death. Several civilians lost their lives and the presidential residence was badly damaged. Conte would go on to win two more presidential elections in 1998 and 2003 for his second and third terms respectively. In the 2003 elections, all but one of the opposing candidates boycotted, expressing their belief that Conte would never allow fair elections. By his third term, Conte's health had started declining. He had diabetes and a heart problem, leading many to doubt his ability to complete the term. In April 2006, he was flown abroad to Morocco for medical treatment. Most people doubted he would return alive, but he did. Again in August of that same year, he was flown this time to Switzerland for medical treatment. When he returned, there were no crowds to meet him. His government had grown increasingly unpopular. His wife, Henriette Conte, was also accused of flouting the rule of law and taking advantage of the president's physical and mental incapacity to abuse her power. In January 2007, there was a nationwide strike against Conte's continued leadership of the country. The strike persisted for 2 weeks and was violently repressed by security forces, leading to about 90 deaths and hundreds of injured protesters. It took the intervention of labor unions for the strike to end. However, unrest and tension continued under Conte's regime. Conte's battle with his poor health finally ended in his defeat. In the early hours of 23rd of December 2008, the President of the National Assembly, Abubakar Sompare, announced on television that Conte gave up the ghost in the evening of the previous day. Barely 6 hours after Conte's death was announced, a statement was read on television announcing a coup d'etat. Captain Musa Dadis Camara read the statement on behalf of a group identified as the National Council for Democracy and Development, CNDD. Conte's funeral was held in Conakry on the 26th of December with over 20,000 people in attendance, including foreign heads of state. Afterwards, he was laid to rest in Lansana village. What have we missed out of this biography of Conte? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.